Welcome back. Well, in business tonight, issues related to growth, foreign reserve levels, and taxation came to the fore yesterday when the Barbados Economic Society and the CFA Society of Barbados hosted a national debate on the Barbadian economy at the Lloyd Erskine Sandyford Center. The event saw participation by representatives from the Barbados Labour Party, the Democratic Labour Party, the United Progressive Party, and Solutions Barbados. In part of his contribution to the debate, Minister of State in the Prime Minister's office, Darcy Boyce, was asked to share his perspective on the state of the island's foreign reserves. He suggested that Barbados still has what he described as a second tier of reserves that can be utilized.
Many years ago, a number of companies, particularly in the financial field, were allowed to invest in foreign exchange, convert Barbados dollars into foreign currency, and invest those funds abroad in order to earn higher income at the time. Those investments were made very clearly on the assumption and on the very clear arrangements that if the country needed those reserves back, the central bank could ask back for those reserves. We have not yet done so, to the best of my knowledge.
And in his contribution, the Barbados Labour Party's representative, economist Dr. Clyde Maskell, said there are different ways to keep adequate levels of foreign exchange flowing through the Barbados economy. And he identified at least one of them that could be utilized in the tourism sector.
What could be so wrong in asking the hoteliers to pay some of their tax in the form of foreign exchange? And what will happen is that that money then goes directly to the central bank through the Treasury. So you don't have to wait until a commercial bank feels okay to sell the central bank.
The United Progressive Party's representative, St. Philip South candidate Bruce Hennis, said several issues are affecting the economy that are being repeated. He said utilizing the creative economy would help to break that cycle.
Moving forward from here, the things that have been able to drive us, things like services, and I'm not talking in terms of international business services, that accounted for about 80% of our growth in the time when it was kicking. And it has died off. And so we're back in this conversation. Let's restructure the debt. Let's deal with the fiscal deficit and stuff. But the reality, the sound reality, and the core reality is that we have to institute a level of growth in the economy.
And Solutions Barbados leader Grenville Phillips II addressed some of the productivity issues affecting the public sector. He specifically spoke about state-owned enterprises.
In a Solutions Barbados administration, Barbadians will finally experience well-managed, efficient, high-quality public services because they'll be managed in accordance with the international customer-focused standard ISO 9001.
No job losses.
No job losses, no.
Cyber attacks are on the rise and they are seriously underreported. This is according to the Chief Executive Officer of the Caribbean Israel Center for Cyber Defense, Andre Thomas. He says what officials usually find out is just the tip of the iceberg, as it is not in our culture to report such activity due to embarrassment.
The hacks are getting worse because they're now getting into ransomware, where your data is stolen and you're told, if you want your data, you've got to pay in Bitcoin, which is encrypted, and no one can trace it. That's happening within the region. In fact, it's happening so much within the region that there are companies that have created Bitcoin accounts just to pay off hackers. Okay, so that's the reality. Okay, and so it's in Barbados, and so it's really time to really focus on this.
Mr. Thomas was speaking during a press briefing to outline 2 free webinars on cybersecurity this month at the offices of the Barbados Investment and Development Corporation. Business Development Officer at the Center, Deidre Leacock, says the webinars are to share knowledge on cyber risks in Barbados and the region.
The first webinar is going to be on May 29th. That is on cyber risk oversight and management. And the second webinar is going to be on May 30th on the GDPR, which is the General Data Protection Regulations, compliance readiness, and cyber threat intelligence. How the vision has expanded is on May the 25th, the GDPR comes into effect. What that does is it allows, as long as your company has information for any EU citizen, it dictates that you have to have adequate protection of those citizens' information. If you are hacked and you're not adequately protected, you can be fined up to 4% of your global turnover or up to 20 million euros.
It's time now to take a look at how stocks traded on selected exchanges across the region. In Jamaica, where Wasingo Group Limited was the volume leader with 234,639 units, and they were followed by Radio Jamaica Limited and 1834 Investments Limited. In Trinidad, JMMB Group Limited was the volume leader with 110,850 shares changing hands for a value of $188,829, and they were followed by Grace Kennedy Limited and NCB Financial Group Limited. And in Barbados, Sagicor Financial Corporation Limited was the sole security, trading 4,024 shares at $2.14 each.